New Delhi. The Union government has a zero-tolerance policy towards the drug menace, Union Home Minister Amit Shah told Parliament on Wednesday, drawing a link between drugs, black money and terrorism, and calling on states to fight the scourge jointly with the centre. Announcing an all-out war against the drug menace, Shah elaborated on the extensive mechanism put in place to tackle drug trafficking, defended the additional power of frontline forces such as the Border Security Force, and underlined that government policy was sensitive towards the victims of drug consumption. Drug menace is a major problem and drug money also contributes in funding terrorism. There are three ways to fight this menace: cooperation, coordination, and collaboration. And this is not a fight of any government or a party or an agency. It has to be a whole-of-the-government approach, Shah told the Lok Sabha. Replying to the debate on drug menace in the lower house, Shah emphasized the Narendra Modi government's zero-tolerance policy against the menace, which poses a major risk for the country's young people, asked political rivals not to politicize the issue, highlighted the government's social welfare programs, and declared that the centre will not allow the country to be destroyed by drugs. Taking a tough stand against those who oppose enhanced power to federal agencies, Shah said it amounted to support for drug traffickers. He said that the government was clear that the addicts were drug victims to be rehabilitated and brought back into the mainstream, but drug traffickers could not be spared. We have mapped the entire route of drug smuggling across 472 districts. No matter how big the criminal is, in the next 2 years there will be a situation that they will be behind bars, Shah added. The government is driven by determination. If the government has decided to make India free of drugs, we will make it happen. The Home Minister also presented comparative data that showed in last 8 years, enforcement agencies seized 6.2 million kilograms of drugs, 240 million units of drugs and 97,000 crore worth drugs, up from 2.2 million kilograms, 100 million units and 33,000 crore in the previous 8 years, when the United Progressive Alliance was in power, respectively. Shah added that 414,000 narcotics-related cases were registered in last 8 years compared to 145,000 cases in the previous 8 years. The number of arrests, too, has shot up by 220% during the Modi government. The number of arrests for the last year stood at 5,23,234, which was 1,62,908 for the period of 8 years before it, the minister said. He also made a clear distinction between drug users and suppliers and said, "Our policy considers those consuming drugs as victims. We will take a sensitive approach, give them a conducive atmosphere for rehabilitation. But drug traffickers will not be spared." Pakistan by 8 wickets in the third and final test in Karachi Tuesday to sweep the series 3-0 and hand the Pakistanis their first home whitewash. "It won't really sink in until we get home or in the new year," skipper Ben Stokes said after securing what was only England's second series whitewash in the subcontinent, following a similar result in Sri Lanka in 2018. Resuming on 112-2, England reached the modest 167-run target in just 38 minutes, with Ben Duckett and Stokes finishing unbeaten on 82 and 35 respectively. England won the first test in Rawalpindi by 74 runs and the second in Multan by 26 runs. This was England's first test tour of Pakistan since 2005, having refused to tour the South Asian country in the years since because of security concerns. Duckett cracked his 12th boundary off fast bowler Mohammad Wasim to seal the victory on the 4th test, with England finishing on 170-2. P20.